Alright, so as you can see from the title of this video, uh, was the DN4816-O worth it after a year of use? Short answer is yes. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but I wanted to give myself a little bit longer so I can, actually confirm if this unit has done what I actually wanted it to. So, let's take it back a little bit. So back then when I first started playing with Clay Creek, we were using at the time the Mackie DL1608 for the in-ears, and it worked good. I preferred not running sound on it. It was just a bit dated, and the FX I did not like it. A little bit later I got the Behringer XR18. It was a bit of an upgrade from going from the Mackie to the XR18, so we decided, hey, let's get a passive split, 16 channels, everybody plugs in. I'll run the XR18 front of house, and I'll send the other to the Mackie for about, I believe, probably like 6 gigs. It worked pretty good in our favor. Bad thing is, it was a lot more weight added from that passive split, so I did not like it. Whenever I heard the news of this unit coming out, it was pretty astonished of how only 16 can go through just one Ethernet cable. Now, technology has advanced, and it's pretty cool how it's done that. So, I got the unit, or before I bought it, I looked at it, and I read it's mainly for, the Behringer and Midas products. So, okay, I have me a XR18. Let's just try it out. The main use that I really liked is you can send 16 direct channels out from it and plug it in wherever you want to. That's the main reason that I wanted it. So I was like, okay, let's get it. I sold my passive split. All of last year, it's done its job. Basically, I bought me a 50-foot shielded Ethercon from my XR18 front of house to this unit, and then 16 channels out into the Mackie, and that worked good. But we started having the problem, we don't have enough inputs. So I decided to get the M32C. It works way better than the XR18, even though it is the same thing, but 32 channels with 16 outs. Now, going back to that Mackie, we had about 5 festival lineups. 4 of them worked great. 1 of them did not, because on one of those gigs, they did not have a Behringer or a Midas board. So we had to go back to floor wedges, and we had to rely on, okay, we need more vocals, we need more electric from there. That was our most past recent gig last year, and we did not like that. With the other 4, with the Mackie, we were lucky. They had an M32. All 4 of those gigs had an M32. I went to the sound guy. I asked him, hey, here's the input list that we would like for you to send to us on the P16 out. And while he did that, I went from the Ultranet out, and I ran it all the way around stage to the DN4816-O, and I got the 16 channel snake, and I ran that to the Mackie, and then the show went on. As I said, the problem was on the last one was they did not have a Behringer or a Midas board. So come to the beginning of this year, there's not that many, lineup gigs. We, as the band, decided let's move away from the Mackie, because that's extra luggage bringing in with my M32. Let's just put in the in-ears with the M32 and just carry it with that. By doing that, we basically eliminated the DN4816-O. Now, for my live sound gigs, I had this unit ready to send out to the bands that I ran sound for, but they didn't use in-ears. They just like to use floor wedges. As for the band, going back to the M32, or as I say, going to, the DN for about half a year has been quiet. It's been sitting in this room. We've been running gigs. Of course, there's no lineup gigs, between now and then. We were running out of this. In-ear sounded good. We had no use for it. Up until I started to think, okay, we're coming back to our lineups that we had late of last year. Let's not depend on the sound company of having the M32 or a X32. So I went ahead, talked with the band, and of course they agreed with it, and they would love it to where we stick with every show using this and using in-ears. So we've decided, okay, so the only way to fix that is we gotta, bring this on stage, and we gotta plug it in. But how are we gonna give it to the front of house? That's where the DN4816-O comes in. This is what made it worth it for me, is now having years of experience running sounds, sending out the right gain, knowing these units for over a year now. I know I can set the gain right from this DN4816-O. I can send that to the front of house with a 16 channel snake, and we could be self-contained on stage, and we don't have to use floor wedges. We don't have to rely on their mics. We don't have to rely, telling them, hey, turn this up or down or all that. What I've done is I made a 10 channel snake for the drums, sending it into here, and then of course everybody else plugs in. And probably what you're seeing on screen now is in both bands that I'm in, Clay Creek and Chris Deanda, the previous show that I actually tested this out was with Chris Deanda. One problem to have is trying to make a sound guy happy. Doing this, where I sent him 16 channels of what they really needed to send back out, basically made it easier for him. And I gave him the snake tails and I labeled them, kick in, snare top, hi-hat, all that. So he can plug in where he wants, and if I just gave him the numbers, then he don't know what the numbers are. So on the tech writer that I made, I have it listed on there, 1 through 16, of what we are sending out, what channel it's on, and what mics I am using. And I think that's pretty important, because if a sound guy knows his microphones, then he shouldn't have a problem using those mics. But I at least use some decent mics, because I use the Shure PGA, the Sennheiser 609, and we went on stage. We had about 30 minutes to set up. I gave him those tails. We set everything up, and he said we sounded amazing. And beforehand, I made sure, hey, is this decent gain for you? Because remember, I am basically controlling the gain. He is not controlling nothing. Basically, rule of thumb that I learned with this: turn your gain down either from your board -5 dB or on their board that they're receiving at -5 dB. That line signal is adding 5 dB. And after I told him that, he reset the gain back to 0, and he didn't have to change nothing at all. He just, of course, added EQ, compression to it. But basically, just sending the line signal, he didn't need to add phantom power. He didn't need to trim nothing down, since I already had it set for our ears. He was very pleased. Yeah, that's it. And us as a band, we were pleased, because we're still using our in-ears. We are self-contained. We're bringing our own equipment up there. We don't have to rely on the sound guy for everything anymore. So what I've been doing now for our next lineups, at least a week in advance, we send them the tech writers, so if they have any questions, they can, go ahead and get in contact, and I can explain with them. If you're a member in a band and you're not a sound engineer and you want to try doing this, try to learn it first. Don't just set it up like how I'm doing it, but you might have the gain set wrong. The reason I'm saying that is because every mic is different. Every mic needs a different gain. You're probably not sending enough gain. You're probably sending too much. It was worth it for me. Now, as it was worth it for me, the question is, will it be worth it for you? As I'm making this video, I am getting ready for a gig tomorrow. As I said on my post earlier this week, I'm going to slow down posting event videos, since, it's the same band over and over again. I'm just going to get back to doing a lot of reviews, since that's what everybody wants and what everybody needs. I had a real world experience using this, and for our next lineups, it's gonna be a blast, because basically that band, Chris Deanda band that I'm with, it's the same band as Clay Creek minus one person. So the musicians already know how this is set up. All they need to do is help me go on stage, set everything up. As I talk to the sound guy, let him know, hey, here's your tail, here's the tech writer. As a tip, I recommend printing your tech writers and giving it to them. That will have a physical line of sight, instead of them just looking at a picture. So basically, that was the longer explanation of DN4816-O. It was worth it. If you have any comments, concerns, please comment down below. I would like to know. I like being corrected on certain things on my other reviews. I have said not wrong, but I labeled certain things differently that could cause probably a problem. So please comment down if you know anything more about this than me. This is just my experience of using it for a year. This is basically for those bands where they do not want to haul something heavy. You can still do this with a passive snake. There's nothing wrong with it. I decided to go with this. It looks cleaner, thinner, only one cable going from there to my M32C, and that is it. I don't have to haul two sets of tails. I only need to bring one to send to the front of house. That is it. So I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, and if you want any more reviews on this type of stuff, please let me know. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.